Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of JFC Hollywood and Friends. Eduardo called it JFC Hollywood and OnlyFans, but I don't know why. But okay, so please bear with me because I'm really, really tired. But and we are still waiting for Rafael. Hopefully, he's still awake. He's still gonna join us soon. Okay, and with us we have Eduardo, Billo, Giulio, and Donato. So today we are all JFC Hollywood original. So we tied 1-1 game against Roma, and I have kind of like mixed feeling because a week ago, actually, especially after the game against Genoa, everybody was kind of like, Mauro, kind of like a sign for a tie because Roma were coming up really, really fast and everything. And then after we watch a game, we are like this like bittersweet flavor in our mouth because actually we were able to go up and but we were not able to close the game as something that happened to us like too often or like regularly in the last 4 years. Okay, and then yep, definitely. And Roma actually tied the game against us and for another time we got scored like the first couple minutes of the second half. Okay, since it's a couple of days I'm waiting for a comment from Eduardo and still waiting for his feelings about the game. He's so shy he cannot send me a message. Okay, I'm gonna start with him. I'm gonna ask him what he thinks about the game. I have 2 questions for you guys tonight. So this is the first one. Yeah, is this one about the game, and then I have another one. So Eduardo, I want to hear what you think about the game.
Yeah, I mean, I share your feelings, meaning that it's definitely bittersweet. It's true that Roma was coming out of a very good stretch.
Oh, yeah, he's right. That's like the first time in a while that you miss a game with us and Locatelli scores. So you know that he's not going to score for the next 3 years. So
who said that Locatelli was going to score last week?
You see every week, every other game.
I mean, you know.
Come on.
So, yeah, I mean, it was an interesting game from many points of view. First, definitely bittersweet. Roma was, I mean, at least on paper, coming out of a very good stretch. I haven't watched any Roma games until this one, so I was based my expectation just on the fact that they won 7 in a row. So I was expecting something more, and honestly, considering the fact that we're playing at home, I was not really impressed with Roma. I think it was, I mean, it's a good team in terms of not giving up many chances, but I mean, usually it's a tough place to play. Usually they try to get under your skin very quickly, and honestly, I didn't see any of that. I mean, especially the first half, we were clearly in control. And the other thing that was really interesting to me is that, honestly, it looked like more like a Motta game than a Tudor game in many ways, because our first half we controlled the game, but by controlling the ball, we really had total control of the ball. We essentially, Roma didn't cross the midfield very, very often, except for a couple of chances that Kalulu saved. But to me, it reminded me a lot about our early season when we were controlling the ball, maybe sort of like losing steam in the final third when we were we're supposed to do something special and we don't. And then the second half, we get scored right away coming out of the break, which used to be a Motta thing. But the difference is that we didn't panic when they scored. And honestly, towards the end, we tried to win, and they were pretty happy with the draw. So it seemed to me that we had a little bit more, I don't know, will to try to get the second one in, but we just couldn't. So yeah, it was an interesting game, but definitely I thought we were the better team on the pitch, and honestly, we should have come out of it with a 3 points. Honestly, it would have been such a big thing because considering all the results from the other sort of like the top 6 or 7 teams in the league would have been such a great boost, and we just missed the chance.
You're not as pessimistic as I thought. To be fair with Roma, they were missing Dybala. They were like Salamakis is suspended, and but yeah, I can agree. So Donato, I'll ask you what you think about the game, and actually, what are you feeling about how Tudor? I think you think is sending their message to our player. You see like a different way of playing. What do you think about everything what happened like in the last couple of weeks?
Look, what I see that Tudor is bringing is the character of you being a Juventus player, right? Of course, some of this, as I mentioned in the chat during the game, after the game, a lot of these players are not Juventus material, really, but he's trying to get the best of them. If you don't remember, the survey that Giulio, I believe, sent when it was, "Are you happy with the Tudor?" Look, I'm happy that Tudor switched with Motta. I'm not gonna say that he's gonna be the future coach of Juventus because there's things that I don't like about Tudor, and I was one that I put a no actually in the survey when I say I was happy with Tudor because I knew Tudor, that's he brought the things of Juventus, but he also has a head a little bit like a who had like he just see one type of games. Yes, couple of type games, but he doesn't see the go inside. Like I say, he doesn't see consistency. In my opinion, he messed up the changes for sure in this game with Roma. Overall, I think that I was happy with the 1-1 at the end because what Roma was coming from. But knowing that was missing the best player to the ball and everything, we could have done. But how the game was going, I say at the end, I say, good. I think we're fine with this 1 point. You messed up the changes for sure. To me, Cop Niners should have not gone in. Conceição should have gone in the second half. Definitely Colomwani for Valeric was fine, and the other side, Cambiasso. I'm sorry, but Cambiasso is not giving, and between the injury and everything, and I think he said this already somewhere else. He's not giving 100%. I would have preferred seeing Mangula inside. So I think this game he messed up the changes.
Well, yeah, honestly, you're hitting a great point about the changes because it's not using the sub as much as maybe we like, especially considering that we, for the first time in a while, probably everybody was available. Okay, so and even in the first game, you only used 3 subs, and on Sunday you used only 4, and with the fourth one was like in the last couple of minutes with Savona for Locatelli. But it's definitely a great topic to talk about. Billo, I don't know. I know you didn't catch game live. Were you able to get the lights or something else?
But no, like usual, when there is a game, there is always something else going on, and I cannot watch it. But I studied quite a bit. I was reading around, and we share one of the YouTuber that follows Juve close, and I saw the changes he saw in the game, in particular having like the possibility to have the 3 backs in going for a position with the 2 guys that play as a fifth. So in this case, it was Wea and McKennie, and once in a while was Kelly going up, and the other time it was Kalulu. And from the goal we scored, Kalulu was the one who went up. So you definitely see the different setup from the beginning that you have the 3 back. And the one is the biggest change from what we used to see with Motta. Unfortunately, we don't have anybody left-footed on the left, and there's a problem. That is not natural way to play when you play with the 3 defenders. So that is going to give us some setback. Cambiasso hopefully is gonna put minute after minute after minute, and we're gonna be able to see him for the next game at least 60 minutes. And I don't know. I apparently he's not been able to make Vlahovic more part of the game like we were hoping for. Everybody was like, "Oh, he loves Vlahovic. He loves Vlahovic. We're gonna see a different Vlahovic." So far, not so much. So that's the sad part. But beside that, I feel overall the Juventus atmosphere around the team is much lighter right now, and the pressure is a little bit off because it seems like they're playing all together, and there is hope that playing in a different way and we don't have so much rumor around the team is going to help us for sure.
Yeah, definitely. We look more like a team in this moment than we were like previously, especially after the two horrible game we had against Fiorentina and Atalanta. Okay, still have the feeling that we're still missing something, and to be fair, we cannot play. You cannot play soccer without a capable striker, and both our striker actually they're playing really bad. And one for like it's about some time, and the second one, Colomani, basically doesn't probably, but it doesn't have the quality that Tudor lack in a striker. But we'll see what's gonna happen. Giulio, you were pretty excited, first maybe the most excited when we hired Tudor. Okay, so what are you feeling?
2 games, 4 points. So, and 1 away against Rome, right? I mean, what we always look is like results. We've always looked like, okay, well, but we won it, okay, but eventually we tied it with 4-2 against Inter, ended up 4-4, right? So far, he's doing what he's been asked to do, okay? So if we look at it from the point of view, he's doing well. Then you need to look at a lot of other things, but one thing that I noticed, it was like, first off, that, okay, it's not happening what maybe we all expected. Okay, Tudor is going to arrive now. Everybody's going to be excited. They're going to just like run over everyone and win every game 3-0. Okay, that's the initial feeling we all had. Okay, now we're going to see all these players doing that well, right? Against Genoa, they had a lot of chances. Against Roma, they didn't. But 2 things to say about this game. One is that I never personally had the feeling that we're going to lose the game. Whether with all the other games that we played, there were a lot of games where like, shit, they're going to score. Oh, they're going to score. You know, my God, you know, you had the feeling. I never had, the game was always in control, always. And at the end of the game, they had this urgency that I felt like they wanted to try to win it, right? Whether before there wasn't. And one last thing is we sure everybody, you know, it was a situation where we could have taken advantage of, but let's not forget that we played away against Roma, who came from the 13th place now to the game against us. If they won, they would have been in 4th place, 5th place with us. So it wasn't an easy game, guys. You don't go to ever in Rome and win easily. Leave it alone after like a new coach that has been there only for 10 days and they are like super like flying, you know, winning 7 games, and now, okay, now we're gonna kick you his ass and you know, be there fighting. So they did what they had to do. They did what they had to do. They didn't take any risks, very small. I remember only one really, when Cristante, I thought that was in, and Kalulu like saved it. Like, so I remember that one was a big one, but that was pretty much it. Sure, the goal. So far I'm happy. I'm happy because like it was a very delicate moment and we needed these 4 points. Now let's see what happens. But again, we excused Motta for so long that like if we start now criticizing Tudor after 10 days, it becomes ridiculous to me. So it's being called to bring points home, and he's doing it. So That's all I have to say about him.
No, yep, it's definitely like correct what you said. Yeah. So the next 3 games we have Lecce, Parma, Lecce at home, Parma away, and
Fermo.
No. Yeah.
No. The last time he said something like this was in December. Was like, oh, we're gonna do 10 points the next
Believe
4
me,
games. We did 2.
I swear to you, I was thinking the same 20 minutes ago when I was showering. Okay, but
so
I had to give some background on the questions. Yeah. So between all because Atalanta at the moment is back, so there is two spots available for Champions League. Atalanta, that is Bologna, that's the 4th one. Then there is us, Lazio, Roma, and I think Fiorentina is behind Roma, if I'm not mistaken. Okay, so there is probably 6 teams fighting for 2 spots. Okay, I think Milan is out. Are you feeling?
Milan's out.
Yeah, and it looks like our schedule kind of like maybe is not as hard as the other team, but that doesn't mean anything because, for example, as Bilo was saying a couple of days ago, we had to play Lecce. Lecce is fighting for not be relegated, so it's not an easy game. Okay, are you feeling confident that this team can get the 3rd or the 4th spot? I don't care. I just need to get like one of the 2 spots. And then I have the second question that I want to talk with you about. Edo? And then if you want to think, Mauro is asking this.
Okay. About whether I'm confident or not, I'm hopeful, but, we have such a small sample to make a, like a reasoned argument whether we're confident or not. I don't know. I'm just, I'm way more hopeful than I would have been otherwise. If we had kept Motta and kept going on the same trajectory. As for playing with the 2 strikers up front, I don't know. All I can say is that really we do not have enough chance. We don't generate enough chances up front, and it's not like we don't.
It's been 4 years.
It's true, but I mean, even if you just look on, we have, Nico, Yildiz, and Vlahovic with all his flaws, all his, limits. It's not like we don't have on paper the potential to at least produce something more.
I agree.
I mean, especially, if you think of Yildiz, of course, he's young and everything, but given what he showed, I'm always expecting big things from him. Nico showed some signs.
Completely closed. Roma, like they were completely sealed. Like
exactly.
It wasn't easy. It wasn't easy.
No, but it's something like it's been 4 years that we.
No, I know, but like.
But
I know, but like if you look at Genoa, with Genoa we had guys like at least 4 or 5 with Genoa, like at least 4 or 5. We did.
It's true, but like even in a game like this, where you said, Roma was very happy to just sit back.
Yep.
There was, I think, in the first half, we had a counterattack, and then I think it's Yildiz played the ball to Nico, and Nico had 2 options: go back to Yildiz or go to Vlahovic, and we were like, Roma was not well positioned there.
Nope.
At all.
He went to Vlahovic.
I mean, he went to Vlahovic, but he missed the pass by like 20 yards. And that's the smallest. Those are the small things that matter. Because like, if you play one good ball there, you're essentially 1-to-1 with the goalie.
Look at the second goal that Inter scored today against Bayern Munich. Like he gave him the ball exactly there in between 3 defenders.
It's not like we have to reinvent the wheel.
Right.
If we want to have this idea of being vertical, being quick, and strike fast, if you have that one chance where you catch Roma sort of off guard, you have to be much better in terms of quality of the passes, quality of the movement without the ball. And it's been, like Matteo said, it's been years that we don't see any of that up front. And
they make so many personal mistakes. So many mistakes. All the players, they make all of them.
No, we.
But I don't know if playing with the 2 strikers is a solution there. I mean, Colo that didn't look particularly inspired.
No, he didn't do better. He didn't do better than the Vlahovic when he came in. And to be fair with him, he played like 25 minutes. He didn't play that much. Okay,
right.
So Vlahovic has been terrible last Sunday.
With the team that is buttoned up like that, if you have a striker that is like a nail on the ground, like you can't do anything. You can't do anything. It's so predictable what you're gonna do all the time that you can't do anything if the striker doesn't do a better job with movements. I'm talking. That's a problem, and this game showed why the striker is a problem in a game like this. If he's there just waiting, it doesn't help.
I mean, if he's just there waiting, but he cleans up the balls very quickly.
But he's not.
I mean, he's not doing any of that. He's not moving around, and he's not, just because we asked Di Gregorio to kick the ball up front plenty of times, and we just couldn't do this sort of like winning the second, like a hockey style thing where you win the second chance. Because our
also playing with the two strikers, guys. Like, if you play with two strikers, it means like who gives us quality, right? Are the wingers right now? It's like Hildit, it's Nico, Conceição. If you play with two strikers, you're gonna take out one of these guys. So there's gonna be even less quality. Who's gonna build? Locatelli, Thuram. Who's gonna do it? McKennie.
I mean, maybe we could move, sort of like play Colo as a.
I don't believe Igor is gonna do that. I don't think he starts.
No, I don't think either.
He never played with the striker. I don't see him like suddenly do that with us when we only have two strikers. If you have like three strikers, you have one on the bench, you can do it. I think two strikers. But in the situation we have only two, I don't think you can throw away all your cards, because in case you make a mistake, you can always put the second one in the last few minutes of the game, like stuff that we were so upset about Motta they would not do. To me, is the most logical thing to do. When you're losing, you put in another striker to see if some balls can go in the box. No, to me, the first thing, we don't have to do stupid mistake against Lecce. Is the kind of team that first of all you start with not allowing anything from them, and probably ideally, since the situation we're doing with corner kicks, our goal probably would be like no one allowed any corner kick, for example. And it's not impossible. There are teams that don't allow corner kicks. So you can do it. It can happen if it does happen, but you have to be effective. You have to be not like passive. You have to be aggressive in the box, and not aggressive in a way that provocating like a penalty, but aggressive toward the ball. You want to be the first one to run the ball. You don't see that hunger that we have in our box to get the ball first. So this is the perception I have for when I saw the goal that we allowed.
Vega makes me nervous, actually. Not Kelly. Vega makes me nervous.
Yeah. There is. It's been like a little bit like now seems like it is a little more solid than what Kelly's shown in the first games. Probably because he plays in a better position, and probably against Kristovic. If I'm thinking you have to take somebody 1-on-1, I would put Kelly.
I don't get why all this criticism with Kelly. I agree. He got paid tons of money, okay, but it's not his fault. Okay.
No, the problem was he was playing as a left back.
It's not doing bad.
I agree.
Yeah, that was the problem. He's not a left
it's
back.
not Nesta. It's not like Maldini.
No, but it's not doing bad.
But not even Nesta can play as a left back. So
no, I agree. But Vega is being celebrated so much, and I don't understand why. So
no, in the first few games, it was like. He was looking a little better than what he's looking lately.
Yeah, because Kelly was playing as a left back.
Yeah.
I think Kelly actually in the last couple of games he tried to build something and trying to go forward a little bit and everything. So I saw a little bit better player. But one thing I'm gonna say about the next few games. One thing that I'm hoping is that those, especially like the game with Lecce is gonna open a little bit more than what Roma did. So maybe we have more space to build something. Lecce, because Lecce will count. Look, Lecce will try to get the 3 points, or I don't think it's gonna play for 1 point, because if they get 3 points ahead, they know that Empoli is gonna play against Napoli, and then the chance that Empoli will lose against Napoli, so they will go ahead for saving the spot in Serie A a little bit, get ahead of Empoli. So I think we'll have a hope to see a little bit more game, hopefully. And again, I say, how are we gonna do that? If they're gonna play the 2 forward, yeah, it's gonna take space to one of the left wings. But I definitely want to see back with Lecce. I want to see Conceição and knock up nicer on the side. I mean, if you have to switch when get out sub Nico Gonzalez, let Conceição in and not Cope. Let Cope rest maybe a couple of games. Let's think about that is with Juventus. He needs rest, and then he needs to think about are these going to make a difference in the last 4 games or not?
Well, I always go against everybody, but I don't think Kopp get in the game. Actually, he get in the game in the moment where I would have made the sub a little bit earlier, and when he got the game inside the game, probably the 2 teams were thinking like, "Hey, Atai is not that bad." Okay, so and I don't think it came in like that bad on last Sunday. It definitely has there is issue with his performance. Okay, but it's not like Conceição is like bravely broke the bank like in the latest games they play. But so, Giulio, what do you think about the near future?
The next 2 games make me really nervous, actually, because they're both in one. It's last 2, 4, 1. They're both right above the 3 that are going down. So it's the worst moment probably to play with these teams. I mean, Parma just tied with Inter, and I don't want to say they deserve to win, but I mean, close enough. So I think those games are gonna show us what Tudor and this team are, because the first one was the first one, 1-0. Okay, this one was away with Roma. Tie is good. Now, you're playing a home next one. I think we're playing Lecce. I don't remember.
Who?
Lecce. We're playing Lecce at home.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So you're playing Lecce at home, and even if they're fighting for to stay up, but it's still in Turin against Lecce. So that's when let's see what they show. I'm curious. I'm actually a little worried, but also curious to see if finally the expectations meet the reality. Right, because we waited for so long. Every game we're like, okay, this game with Motta we're at home against this team. They're gonna win 3-0. We need to crash them. 2-2, 1-1. We lost. So I'm like, okay, we're playing at home. It's a positive strike. These 2 games, the morale is high. So I do have now higher expectations for next game than the one I had against Roma. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I have a question for you guys, though. Do you think that, because what I agree that Conceição should play. It looks like he really likes Nico, right? To the point that was having him play like last game on midfield. But do you been asked to focus on using the players that are going to stay? Because the main change I've seen is like Muani and Nico having little to no playing time. Because Muani last game didn't play at all. This game came in the last 20 minutes, and Nico, I think, hasn't played at all yet with them.
Since
Conceição.
Sorry, Conceição and Conceição.
So I think he played 10 minutes against Genoa.
Right. So nothing. So do you think that on top of everything else, he was asked to focus on our players, to get the value out of Vlahovic, out of Nico Gonzalez, because those are going to be ours, whether Muani and Conceição might still be sent back or not, or is it
well,
coincidence?
Look, I had Giulio. I had the same thought actually. The last few games, I had the same thought, but I mean, the thing is also you have to think about you have to prove yourself, and then to prove yourself you have to bring this team to the fourth place and win. So yeah, maybe there is some, but at a certain point again, Sunday let Conceição in. That's the thing is because even if you have to go make, unless Conceição is not showing up on the during the practice, or but that's the other thing. It's like Conceição is not ideal for the module, the type of games that Tudor like to play.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's the issue too. That's so and that's the issue when I have with Tudor, that you have to adapt to the players, but he doesn't. Like I remember with Lazio, he had a problem with some of the with the Baroni had some of the best players, because he didn't like the kind of game that they play. So
But didn't we play with 3-4-3?
Rovella was one of them.
Didn't we
What?
play
Yeah.
3-4-3 now?
Rovella.
We're playing with 3-4-2-1. If you want to give like a schematic right now, this is a 3-4-2-1. Okay?
Right.
Yeah.
So
I think
why Conceição doesn't fit
because
there?
it's not
Nico
because
and
there is a trending with Tudor that he likes physical player. Okay, Conceição is
Yeah.
not that physical.
Mm.
Second thing is Conceição need like to play close to the line. Okay,
Right.
and in this schema, you call it scheme. Okay,
they're
there is really not a really.
I see.
There is
Yeah.
not, but having said that, I should give him like 20 minutes to Conceição. Look, I don't think there is a. We already know that Tudor liked Vlahovic, so I think it was like kind of like natural that the first pick he had like on the striker it was Vlahovic, and he gave like the chance, and Vlahovic keep doing bad. And other than that, the only thing I would like to see him doing more. I don't think about, because there is all these rumors going around that actually today there was like a opposite rumor about yesterday and about Conceição, because Conceição maybe they're still thinking about signing him for next year. I think that the issue with Conceição is his price, because probably it's not worth 20 million. Okay, but that's another conversation. And but Juventus fan needs to talk about everything that's not about the non-important stuff. Okay, the only thing I didn't like is like he didn't use the sub, because even on Sunday he made the first sub on the 70 minute.
Mhm.
Yeah, everybody available. Hey, you have more player. Let them play. So you mentioned I can talk about Bangula. I was never a fan of Bangula, but he disappeared. Alberto Costa was getting some time with Motta. He disappeared. So Kalulu actually was on the bench because Gatti was the one star. So he probably has his own idea. But I don't know. Either one, I wanted to say something.
Yeah, just to follow up on Giulio's point, whether there is any sort of extra off the pitch considerations as to who to play or who to sit on the bench. I really hope nobody even consider the idea of playing X or Y, depending on whether we own it or it's on loan or something, because we're not in a position to. We don't have this luxury.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope that the only goal that they gave Tudor is just win somehow. If Pugno gives you the best chance to win, you play Pugno. If you have to play 8 instead of 11 to win, you play 8. I don't care, but we just don't have the luxury to think of, okay, if we play this guy, then his value goes up. We can sell him better this year. I mean, there's 8 games left, and we're not fourth yet. So
we should have considered this maybe before, or maybe the front office maybe talk with Motta about that before.
Yeah,
but yeah,
right.
It's sad, but I agree with you, Edo.
You see?
One thing that I want to ask. Bilo didn't watch the game. Sorry, I can ask him. I'll ask everybody, and then whoever wants to answer. one thing I noticed, like I didn't finish the game and feeling this player played like crap, this player played like crap, this other one played like crap. Like I didn't feel like that, you know. So did you guys have the same feeling like that? You know, all the players like were somehow. I don't think that anybody performed like whoa. One comes to mind will be Kalulu that saved us once or twice, but also on the first goal I think was his fault. But but I feel like
big mistake Kalulu in the game. But
right. So I feel that, you know, everybody is now, you know, at an acceptable level. But
we definitely
I agree.
team better. Sorry.
No, go Donato.
No, we definitely had a better team now. As a team, talking about the players in the field, you see them that they have more courage. They're not. I don't see them be scared like with the game with Mother. They were passing. I mean, they did some mistakes and everything, but they feel more confident. So definitely, that's what Tudor did with this team, putting them back in things like you guys value, you can guys make a difference. So more confident. Of course, we need to see now more talent from those players that should make a difference. But definitely, I agree with you. I didn't see anybody that did like, oh my god, except, you know, that's the thing. Vlahovic didn't do the goal and everything, but you see that they put a lot of more effort in the field.
Yeah, we look. I told you earlier. We're looking like a team at least right now. The only thing is that is Vlahovic. Like, I'm sorry, it's been terrible. I'm gonna be picky and probably not my favorite, but yeah.
He's lost. He's a lost player right now.
Oh, Cambiaso. I don't know. I think it's
he's coming back from an injury, so
right.
I agree.
Right. I mean, against Genoa, he wasn't that bad when he came in.
He's now putting a like on every Juventus Instagram post. Like during, you know, before he wouldn't do anything. Now everything that Juve does.
I think Cambiaso.
Yeah,
I think Cambiaso.
There's such a TikTok thing to say, such like a.
Dude, you're a boomer.
No, I think Cambiaso is gonna be the one that's gonna be at the most different role compared to what he had in the past. He's not gonna be able to go to play in the center of the midfield like he used to. Now he's gonna be asked to stay by the line and go back forward. So you can do occasionally that in the game, but it's not gonna be 90% of his game doing that. So for sure, he has to adapt to a new position that he didn't do for a long time. So
yeah, but
that's the first thing, and the second thing, you have to have the legs. When you play as left side, left back wing, you have to do the whole flank.
Yeah, and I think you said that like many times. Basically, Cambiaso is the only player that we have for that position because we can play Weah, but Weah is not a lefty, and we can play McKennie, but McKennie is going to be adapted to play over there. Alberto Costa, but is not for that position, so he is basically the only player we have that can play that position.
No, you have to have a player that is confident to, as soon as receive the ball, to make a long pass if he wants to, without having to do 3 touches to go back on the right. So everybody's waiting for him to do that. The defense is adjusting. So it doesn't work. It's not something you want. It's like, it's unfortunate, but we changed the way we play. And Igor Tudor has to find a way to put somebody that is lefty there.
Yeah.
So
tagging on this question, actually on the comment by Edo that Cambiaso is liking every Juventus post right now, something I would like to see from every Juventus player, and I would like to ask your opinion because we have a heated conversation on last Saturday about the interview came out from Motta. Okay, that Okay, that happened, and most of all about the post about Perin and Conceição, because I think they were out of place. Okay, like probably Thiago Motta's interview. Okay, but there's one thing: Thiago Motta is not with Juventus anymore. Okay, he was authorized for whatever reason. I don't know why. Maybe because it was Veltroni asking the question, making the interview for Corriere della Sera, so they couldn't say no to him. Okay, but still, it showed that we are kind of weak. Okay, but still, he's not with Juventus anymore. Perin and Conceição should keep his mouth shut. So close and not say anything until the game. We are playing for something so important. And most of all, they basically put in the public place that there was something going on in the locker room. So I didn't like it. And then if I want to play the theory of conspiracy, Perin got like a muscle injury before the game after the post. Okay, but and I was expecting a little more from Perin. Okay, that's my opinion. Okay, so. Nobody wants to say anything. Anybody agree with me?
Oh, I have a lot to say. I'm just waiting for somebody else.
No, to me, Motta doesn't exist.
Yeah, okay. So,
to me,
so the player shouldn't say anything.
To me, Motta doesn't exist. I don't care what he says. It's the past. He was one of the worst coach we had in many years. It was a big delusion for everybody. I was supporting him until December, and after that, I saw like it's not happening. And to me, I don't see Perin what maybe because it's a little more, but Perin to me didn't go outside the line. If somebody's telling something I feel is true, I don't see why I cannot tell him this is not true. And I think it was kind of elegant in the way he said it. He didn't call him directly. He just say what he said, something in Latin. What he said?
Yeah, was a quote, a quote in Latin.
Yeah,
like you make your own bed, something like that.
Yeah,
something like that.
That's it. But I told you that for me, like what happened with Allegri. The day after Allegri was gone, he's gone. That's it. For me, the same thing from Motta. I have no desire to talk about him. Zero.
But it should be like that for the players too. Like, think of Roma. Don't think of whatever it's on the newspaper. Like, I don't want your mind distracted by freaking Corriere della Sera.
Well, if you don't want their mind distracted, don't authorize the interview.
Not for sure.
You authorize the interview, now their mind is distracted. If you went to authorize it, you can expect. I don't want your mind distracted.
Definitely authorize it.
Yeah.
Okay. So why is happening the day before Roma? This interview. So you can have it both ways. So if you have to authorize,
true. I mean, but I'd like to run a much tighter ship. Like, nobody talks, nobody whatever. Zip your, and because we have, I mean, it's not like we don't have things to worry about on our own. Just there's no need to add whatever extra on the side.
With the Conceição post, because Conceição post is different.
They're different. I don't consider them at the same level. Perin and Conceição.
No.
To me, they're two completely different things.
And Conceição took the post right away once I think they told them. But the thing is that the important thing is don't give a fuel to the press during this situation where you have to come out from a crisis and everything. Don't just give a fuel for press to do like weird press news in the newspaper and everything, all to talk about shit about Juventus. So that's the thing is that's where it's missing right now. That was from old style Juventus. There's communication is important, and that they have to teach these players when to say what to say. So don't go overboard or things. Okay, like say Motta is out. Forget about it. There was that experience and everything. Thank him for what he did, and you don't want to thank him for what he did. Just move forward, focus, like say on Roma and everything. So that's the thing is, don't give fuel to the press.
Not like that, guys.
Because for talking junk.
It's not like that simple. It's not that simple. Sure, in a perfect world, everybody looks the other way, but it's not that simple. You authorized an interview. You authorized an interview the day before the big game. One, you should have not authorized it. So you did authorize it. Then if you go and look closely at the fucking interview, at first look, I was like, okay, I didn't see anything bad. Then I went back and I was like, no, he's playing the victim. I don't like it. Because he played the victim. He was playing the victim. He was playing the victim. He said, like, I mean, I was in fourth spot. That was our only goal. I was still there running. I should have been given more time. There were no problems with anybody. He was playing the victim.
Yeah, man, look how many thought that it was stupid to do that. How many even people that always write against Juventus, so they thought that he was so stupid to write things like that. To say the interview that Motta did, he could avoid. The problem is we're talking about whatever Motta say. I don't care. He did probably stupid. What I care is what Perin, right? What Perin, what he did.
Okay, honestly, I appreciated what Perin did. What Perin did, and that's a big if, because now we assume this direct to Motta because we don't know. But if that's the case, he tells me that Motta is lying during the interview. He tells me that Motta is not, he should have just stayed home instead of playing the victim. And he tells me one more thing. Then the fucking management is like incapable of doing their job. Because if we expect from a 21-year-old Conceição to be good and perfect, I expect a lot more for fucking authorizes these interviews at the point.
I agree on the last point.
Okay.
I agree on the last point, but and you say that Perin basically said that Motta is lying. Well, everybody knows that Motta is lying, but at least Motta
it's not damaging us.
Motta is decent enough to say, "Hey, okay, it didn't go that."
How is it damaging us?
Why?
How is it damaging Perin? Us? I think Motta is damaging us with that interview, not Perin. Perin is saying, "Don't believe."
To me, the locker room is a holy place. Nothing should come out of the locker room. Okay.
Okay, then don't authorize the interview.
That Locatelli and Perin that they fight each other like.
Presidente, we did a web series with Amazon with cameras inside the locker room for a year.
Right, we did a fucking
thing
that
was
called
fragile
while he was playing
but
on
now
the pitch.
It's not the age that you can do that anymore.
Yeah, I agree with David. He says, if anything, Perin is defending the team. I agree. I don't think we lost anything or we got damaged at all by Perin. Quite the opposite.
Giulio, but the fact that only Perin or maybe a couple players are saying things look like they had a personal thing against Motta and not the team as a whole, you know?
Okay, but it's becoming a lot of players at this point. It's not just Perin, you know, so maybe...
What happened?
What happened? With the balloons.
So,
and the other thing is that Veltroni is also a Juve fan, which is crazy to me because, like, why are you stirring the pot? Like, you know.
Right. Well, I mean, you know, they're all attention whores.
I know, but like,
easy. It's like your friend.
Conceição is different, though.
Does he need the money?
Yeah, no, it's different. Conceição post is different.
No reason wearing a Juventus jersey in the post. You know, that's completely different. I agree. Conceição should have kept his mouth shut.
Okay, so well, we agree to this
because that looks like Conceição is saying something against Juventus.
Mm-hmm.
That's damaging. Conceição is saying something against the team he's playing for. That's bad. That makes me think there is a problem right now. What Perin did, it tells me that it was a problem. Who fucking cares? There was a problem. Fuck the coach. You know, so that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
it's
definitely
different.
Okay, so we're 10 minutes, actually 9 minutes. So since we're gonna start fighting and prediction.
No.
So I was wrong last week. I think I predicted.
Did you write it down? Did you write it down last week?
Obviously not. Obviously not. But I had But in the Jersey Liga, I had 3 points because I had 1-1 as a score, and I had Cambiaso as a first sub. I had Vega as our scorer because I thought we were going to score on
You almost did.
on a set piece, and instead we got scored on a set piece. So
When was the last time we scored on a set piece? By the way,
I was probably 94, 95. Kohler against Borussia Dortmund, probably. You know. Yeah, probably you're right, David. But honestly,
right? But exactly, that's why it's different.
Okay.
No, I'm not
Okay,
gonna.
here we go.
No, I refuse.
I know one.
Well, it's gonna be on. We play on Saturday, 11:45 your game, but I'm gonna be in Italy, so it's gonna be 8:45 for me. So
I'm gonna be in Chicago.
Dinner. You're gonna be in Chicago. Oh, okay.
Should we?
I think 2-0-2 as well.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. I think 2-0 is gonna be a game that we show them that we can defend, and probably a counter. Probably the first goal is gonna be a counter.
I don't see Lecce allowing us the counter, but
from like a build up, you know, like you building up and
with our technical midfield.
Mm-hmm. Like what goal do we make? Ken.
Donato, come on.
You remember Ken
prediction?
Atalanta, something like that, yeah.
I'll go for 2-0.
Ooh. Edo, at least we're gonna get score a couple of times, right?
No, I'm not gonna give you the score, but I agree with Mauro that Nico is gonna score because he's due. Like he almost scored this time around. It's
about time.
It's about time.
Edo. Fantastic questa cosa. Oh, I don't know, I'm conflicted. I see, you know that. Oh wait, guys, Kristovic. Well, look, you know that I'm not normal, so I woke up last Sunday to watch Lecce Venezia. It was one of our last chances to not be relegated. Okay, Venezia, and
you forgot you woke up at 3 a.m. No, woke up. Everybody woke up last Sunday, but you woke up at 3 a.m.
Yeah, if Di Francesco is gonna save Venezia, I think it's gonna be one of the biggest accomplishments, like in the history of the game. Okay,
without the great Poyampalo. I mean, we all miss
Poyampalo scored 3 goals last Saturday. We have the only president that making team with the soccer team. But okay.
Anyway, Kristovic.
Kristovic is a good player. I've been liking for a couple of years. Kristovic. I had no idea why nobody when we were in desperate need of a forward like last September, because right now even Kristovic costs a lot of money. Okay, even last why nobody. But example, like another example. Okay, we got Kelly. Okay, we paid like 45 billion euro. Okay, for him. Okay, and as I say, it's not as bad as people tend to say. You need a center back. Why can we get Itzes from Venezia? Is like is available, is super cheap, play 6 months, and then you send him probably to another team, probably. Yeah, I know.
No, but exactly. But coming back to Kristovic, who's gonna be the guy? He's gonna shut him down when he plays against us.
Vega.
What, Vega?
You think Vega 1-on-1 on him?
Yeah, I mean he was last week, and he's gonna be the same.
No, well, no, excuse me. No, last week I think I see Kelly going against Dovbik and Vega actually play more like a libero, like an outside libero.
Sweeper.
So, yeah, like more like a sweeper. So
I can see that. It would be
il porno baffo. Grande porno baffo.
He would be my idea. It would be Kelly on Kristovic too.
Well, look, Mauro, you should tell your friend Max Allegri you should have played a little more last year, you know.
Mm-hmm. Who hasn't given an interview in a year, by the way. And he doesn't have to ask permission because he's not even a Juventus.
Yeah.
You know, just saying, difference of styles.
Allegri è più gobbo di tutti noi messi insieme. Quindi...
Ma senza
bravo, diglielo. And so what we're saying, so Kristovic, Kelly, okay, perfect.
We didn't have another choice. It was between him and and Eduardo, so
And
probably.
he played well. And he played a
That was
good
a
game.
tough choice.
Okay.
Also, can I just say how I think Thuram is going to be a great player. Now he's going to have an awful career, but
Have you seen his brother today?
No, you're asking me whether I watch Inter games? Are you insane?
I saw the pass.
My God, guys.
I saw the pass for the goal.
Jesus
That
Christ.
pass was pretty amazing.
I don't care about the
I
Cartonati.
know, but I never wanted Thuram to come to Juventus when we that 2 years ago it was rumored to be between Juventus, and I didn't think he was that good as a player, but he improved so much in the last couple of years. I would say I would gonna go as far as saying like he's a better version of Lukaku in this moment. So not of the actual Lukaku, even the Lukaku of 3 or 4 years ago.
No, the prime Lukaku.
Prime Lukaku probably is still a better player.
Yeah,
He's young. I mean, he's got room still to grow. So
prime Lukaku.
About to number, guys.
What do you guys consider prime Lukaku? When was that? When he was at Inter? Prime? That was his prime. Because in Premier League, he never was that crazy
Inter,
player.
No, he scored a bunch of goals with
not much. He was scoring
with Everton,
8,
I think. I think with Everton he scored a lot of
Everton
goals.
mainly, yes.
Yeah.
His biggest year was Everton,
Yeah.
I think Inter.
Think I'm still, since we talk about Lukaku, we have to mention it. Think about we could have like a Ronaldo with Lukaku that would be the perfect couple, but somebody say no. I know I'm gonna make Giulio happy right now. Okay, guys, let me go take a nap.
Patatino.
Ronaldo
Okay.
Lukaku. Madonna.
Donato, you have something for us before going to sleep?
No, I just hope we're gonna win on Saturday, and let's get this 4th place.
Hey, are you gonna
because
watch any game for the FIFA World Cup, Donato?
for the
Are you
to
going
go?
in person?
I'm not. I don't think I'm gonna go. I have like this summer bunch of stuff. My daughter is graduating from college
Oh.
this year, so
Oh, nice.
we probably I have family stuff to do.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm just gonna watch on TV.
Yep, like us.
But I hear that Julia's gonna. I hear that Julia's gonna pay tickets for everybody. Is that true?
Sure. I buy the tickets for the game. You guys buy the tickets to fly there.
But this summer, if you guys do something this summer that to watch one of those games, I might be.
But where do they broadcast them? I still don't know in the US who broadcasts.
There is the zone in US.
The zone for free.
In the US?
The zone is worldwide, yeah.
Yeah, it's worldwide, but
they do box. They do mainly box event in US and yeah.
But I'm sure that one of the big networks is gonna do the games. I don't know. Maybe.
Infantino said that we're gonna do it for free and it's gonna be on the zone. I don't know.
They cannot sell a tickets, so I think the stadium is so empty. I've seen like a commercial everywhere about buy a FIFA World Cup ticket. Oh, David said TNT. Okay. Or we can go watch a game at the Coliseum. Maybe it's always nice going to not the Coliseum, sorry, to the Rose Bowl. It's always nice going to the Rose Bowl.
The Cartonati are gonna be in town.
It's probably gonna take like 4 hours to get out of the place. But okay. Guys,
it's a nightmare.
Oh my goodness! Don't remind me. Okay, thank you guys. It was fun.
Thank you. Bye, all brothers and
sisters.
Please,
Bill, bring again the balloons, please. And
must be this, I guess.
You move the head and the balloons.
Okay, guys.
Bye, everyone.
Bye. Have a good night.
Alla fine, bye.